Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. James Harden continues to improve with each season. He isn't the flashiest player, and his big beard is a great representation of the distant loner figure he sometimes comes across as. He's not the tallest player, or the most in shape, and yet he is undeniably effective offensively. Harden has been one of the most prolific offensive players in the last decade. He has finished in the top 2 for NBA points leaders in each of the last 5 seasons, finishing as top point scorer in the last 2 seasons. He currently tops the point scoring list and would be a good bet to finish the season as the leader. While Harden has pushed himself personally, he hasn't been fortunate enough to go all the way to an NBA Finals. This season he teams up with former Thunder teammate and triple-double phenomenon Russell Westbrook. Together, they might take the Rockets to new heights this season. Both Westbrook and Harden are into their 32nds, and the next few seasons may be their last chance to reward their stellar careers with NBA championship rings. This season, Harden continues to dominate and has averaged around 40 points per game. If he can continue this through to the postseason, the Rockets could be in with a shout in a strong Western Conference. So what makes Harden such a good offensive player? Three-point ability. Harden is a danger across the court, but his strength is from 3. He has been a consistent contender to Steph Curry's title of three-point king. Together, they have changed the way that the NBA is played and have made the three-point way more influential in team tactics. Harden currently tops the league for three-pointers made. With Curry out injured for most of the season, Harden will surely top the league come April. Harden's handling, shooting, and passing ability is some of the best in the league. He is great at getting to the line and keeping defenders guessing. Harden's ability to shift position on a dime and drop 3 points from deep mean that he is incredibly difficult to defend against. His passing ability ensures that teams can't just focus on him, especially with Westbrook on the outside. While Harden has a reputation as a ball hogger, he can justify it with the points he puts up, game after game. Having a player who is such a danger from 3 opens up the entire offense. Through Curry, the Warriors use this to establish their dynasty. For the Rockets, they need to figure out a way to be lethal through other channels. Westbrook might be the solution to that problem. Decision-making speed. Harden is sometimes likened to a garden gnome due to his long beard and short, stocky physique. The truth is that he is anything but that. He's not the fastest player, but he can beat players in short bursts to the line. He might look stocky, but he hardly ever sits out through injury. At 30, he has never struggled with any major injury that some of the taller players have. Aside from speed and agility, his ball handling allows him to fool defenders and put them off balance. Next time you watch him head towards the three-point area, watch how he handles the ball. The defender won't know whether he's about to drive, pass, or shoot for 3. What makes Harden's offensive talents even more pronounced is his ability to make good decisions in an instant. While he has the defender on his toes, he'll know whether to pass, drive, or shoot. His ability to exploit a defender's positioning and keep them guessing makes the defender more susceptible to commit a foul. Being fouled is one of the most talked about aspects of Harden's game. Drawing fouls. James Harden is a great player to have on your team and an infuriating player to play against. The main reason for this is the amount of free throws and personal fouls that Harden gets every game. Throughout his career, Harden has continued to receive more free throws and personal fouls every season. Last season, he averaged 9.7 free throws and 3.1 personal fouls per game. This season, he is averaging 11.3 free throws and 3.4 personal fouls per game. He has topped the NBA in free throws attempted in 6 of the last 7 seasons. One thing is for sure, Harden knows how to draw a foul. As a fan or player on the opposing side, Harden's flops might be the most infuriating thing to experience. For the Rockets fans and teammates, a foul is a foul, and points on the board are points on the board. This is perhaps the crux of what makes Harden such a good offensive player. He knows how to draw a foul from an opponent through his quick decision-making, lethal shooting, and accurate passing. No other player in the league has learned to bewilder defenders in this way. Make no mistake, drawing a foul is not cheating. Forcing the defender into a mistake while you land a layup requires skill and intelligence. It gets under the skin of opponents and their fans while prompting your own fans to cry out, and won. That was classic James Harden, in both of the ways that paradox tends to play itself out. As a historically great player, and for results beyond individual accolades, as a player worrisome on a historical scale. In the Philadelphia 76ers debasement at the hands of the Brooklyn Nets in that 129-100 rout Thursday night, Harden flashed both sides of his fascinating career arc, and all the possibilities, very good or very, very disappointing, that have yet to play out. You know the backstory. The trade that sent Harden to Philly for disgruntled star Ben Simmons, plus Seth Curry, Andre Drummond, and draft picks, and which supercharged an already fierce Eastern Conference rivalry. Though Simmons has yet to play this season, despite the trade he forced, his arrival at his old stomping grounds and street clothes set the tone for an NBA spotlight blazing brightly on hard-feeling swap stars, former friends turned rivals, and all the other soap opera drama dripping from any contest now featuring these two teams. Tickets were extravagantly priced. The arena rocked, the entire league watched, and a playoff atmosphere fed a game that had all the markings of a very, very big and important deal. Enter Harden, and the two sides of his confusing coin. Early on, just 5 minutes into the game, Harden hit a three-pointer that marked his place as an all-time great scorer. The tray was no 2,561 in his career, pushing him ahead of Reggie Miller for third all-time in the NBA's record books. It was a single dagger in a career made of them, one that has brought Harden an MVP, several scoring titles, and the superstar weight one needs. If, like the beard, they plan to throw their weight around time and again to force their way from one team to the next. He's an extraordinary offensive talent, which is why at times his tendency, like on this night, to turn in big moments and big games into an offense-killing, victory-deflating antithesis of his better self makes him also historically disappointing. At least so far, because in the midst of that history Thursday night, Harden laid an egg, a giant one. His brutal box score on the night doesn't tell the full story. The 11 points on 3 of 1-7 shooting and box score plus-minus of -30 looks bad enough. The deeper truth is that Harden was even worse in the early stages of the game, when his utter awfulness helped the Nets run out to a 4-23 first-quarter lead. The game ended early, right along with Harden's self-confidence and swagger. This was a battle of wills between two proud teams, and Harden vanished before it could enter its third act. There's the fact that since Harden's arrival the Sixers had won 5 in a row before the Nets game. There's the reality Brooklyn played a suffocating defense Thursday they have been hard-pressed to emulate often enough to argue it's more than an emotion-filled aberration. There's the very important reality that the Sixers are still well-positioned in a crowded Eastern Conference standings, while the Nets remain in that dangerous flip-a-coin play in purgatory spot. Harden is great. The record he set speaks to that. Harden is also a great big postseason question mark, or, less optimistically, a landmine in waiting. Take Game 7 of the Western Conference Finals back in 2018, when the Houston Rockets, then led by Harden, turned a 3-2 series lead into an ugly defeat. Game 7 is when Harden, who went 1-2 of 2-9 and 2 of 1-3 from 3, played with such panic and fear that he spread defeatism through that team the way he had normally dished assists. On that night, led by Harden, Houston at one point missed 27 consecutive three-pointers. 27. Houston went home, and the Warriors went on to a title. Harden supporters will protest. Hater. He's too good, remarkable, even, for this ridicule. Harden doubters will say, see, he did it again against the Nets. That pattern of vanishing when moments grow too large. Both views have truth to them, just as both Hardens were present Thursday night against Brooklyn. The historically great player, and the guy, for one so great, who is maddeningly able to go crashing down and take his team with him. There's so much more context and nuance to all of this than just one game. There's the fact that since Harden's arrival the Sixers had won 5 in a row before the Nets game. There's the reality Brooklyn played a suffocating defense Thursday they have been hard-pressed to emulate often enough to argue it's more than an emotion-filled aberration. There's the very important reality that the Sixers are still well-positioned in a crowded Eastern Conference standings, while the Nets remain in that dangerous flip-a-coin play in purgatory spot. There's the truth that, yes, it was just one game, but Harden, the record-setting great, the guy from Thursday night who couldn't handle that hyper-charged atmosphere, will face in the months and years ahead a singular reality that will meld these two parts into one. He either wins a championship to cement his greatness in a way that truly matters, or else he's the guy who sets records and dazzles with stats, all while failing simultaneously at what actually needs to be done. This is all for today, folks. If you enjoyed this video, then leave a like, and if you are new, then don't forget to subscribe. Stay tuned for the future updates. See you till the next video. Thank you for watching.